What if I told you that God changed his mind about what humans could eat? Not once, but multiple times throughout Scripture, 3 times. Well, here's the progression. Stick with me. First, let's go all the way back to the beginning. Genesis 1 verse 29. Every plant yielding seed, and there's a lot of those, and every tree with seed in its fruit, that is in the garden, that is yours to eat. Genesis 2 tells us that Adam and Eve lived in the garden, which was a sort of paradise. And their diet consisted of fruits and vegetables and herbs. It was a vegetarian diet. But we also read in Genesis 6 that humanity multiplied, and after a time, the world became filled with violence. And God said, man has become like one of us, thinking like us, and now he's able to build cities and do all sorts of things. But God saw that the world had become very wicked and corrupt, and so he decided to bring a flood, a great flood upon the earth. Only Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord, and so he built an ark, and he took his family and 2 of every kind of animal and bird onto the ark to preserve them. And so when the flood came, it lasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing was destroyed. And then after the flood, God made a special appearance to Noah and said, everything has been made new. Do you remember how it was in the beginning? Before the flood, before sin entered into the world and death, that everything was perfect? Well, this is the second time that God is going to change the food laws. Everything has been made new. You know what? All the plants that I've given you, you can still have. But now I'm giving you something else. Genesis 9 and verse 3, every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. This is the second food, but there is one restriction. You shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Why the change? Because man had become very wicked and corrupt and sinful. And so now there's sin in the world, there's death in the world, and there's suffering. And so now there's a new reality. Well, later on, God gave Moses the law, the 10 commandments, the dietary laws in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. And he said, these are the animals that you can eat, these are the animals that you can't eat. These are clean, these are unclean. And so these laws remained in effect until Jesus Christ came. So there you have it, 3 different foods. What does it mean for us today? Well, I believe that God still owns all of the animals, all of the creatures, all of the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, all of that. And we as Christians have the privilege of being stewards over God's creation. And we have the responsibility to care for the animals and to care for the earth. So whatever we decide to do with regard to eating animals, it should be done with great care and great responsibility, knowing that we are accountable to God for how we treat his creation.